Let's talk about your background a little bit. I don't think a lot of people know the devastating injury you suffered, at the tail end of your high school career. When you're that age and you've got the whole world in front of you seemingly, what's it like to go through that?
It was very hard for me. It was a compound fracture. My bone came through my skin, my tibia. I remember laying there as soon as it happened on the floor, looking at my leg bleeding and my bone coming out, thinking, would I ever be able to play basketball again? It's my first time breaking a bone, so I didn't quite know how the healing process would work. And it was very tough for me mentally because being a top 100 recruit, expected to come to college and contribute right away, and being hit with something like that, it messed with me mentally. But I have a strong circle, strong faith in God, and I really believed in myself and pushed myself to get myself back to where I am now.
Can I ask, without being too gruesome or too personal, what it's like when you look down at your leg and you see the bones sticking out?
It's crazy. I remember actually I lifted my leg up and like half of it came up. My bone was out about this much and my foot was just hanging like down. It was crazy. And I sat there, put my knee down straight. My knee was facing like straight up and down like this. My foot was laying down one way. And it was just crazy for me, crazy experience. But like I said, I got a close circle to help me fight back through something like that.
In that moment, how are you moving your leg around, man? I'm trying to put myself in that situation. How are you able to move your leg around when
I first picked it up, I didn't know what happened. I just knew I fell. Like I went to go up for a dunk at the end of a workout. I landed, and I was like, man, that hurt a little bit. Rubbed my shin off, went back to half court, did the drill again, jumped, heard a loud pop. I fell, picked up my leg, bone sticking out, foot was hanging. I put my leg down, and I just remember thinking like, what just happened to me? It was very heartbreaking at the moment, but luckily I'm a very hard worker, really believe in myself, and it was a hard process. I mean, not many people know it didn't heal properly. So in June of 2013, I needed another surgery. They took bone marrow from my iliac crest in my hip and put it there at the site of the break. So I didn't get fully cleared until September 2013.
And when this all happened, you had already committed to Clemson?
Right, I was signed already.
Was there a worry there that maybe because of the injury, was that in your mind at all?
Not really. Clemson's coaching staff was very, very loyal to me throughout my whole recruitment. I'm really big on loyalty, so I respect that about them. And they believed in me from day one. I remember talking to one of the assistants, Coach Grant, on the way to the hospital in the ambulance, and he just told me to stick with it. They still believe in me. They still want me to be a big Clemson Tiger, and it's just a bump in the roadway for me. We'll get through it together.
And if I read correctly, you chose Clemson over VCU. That was one of the other schools that was after you.
Yeah, I committed super early. I committed my junior year. Clemson was my second offer. So.
And VCU at the time had current UT head coach Shaka Smart. So was Coach Smart the guy who was kind of in your ear a little bit, kind of making that pitch?
Yeah, a little bit. But I was so sold on Clemson. I knew I loved everything about it. My family loved it. It wasn't too far away. And to be able to play in the ACC, it's definitely a blessing. It's the best basketball conference, in my opinion, out there. So. Definitely a good thing.
No argument about the best basketball conference here. When you're coming back from an injury like that, does it go through your mind, I might not be the same guy, especially a guy who's got the type of game you do? Do you worry about maybe not being the same type of guy afterward? Does that go through your mind?
So I got injured in April of 2012. I got cleared a little bit to do some on-court stuff in January. And I still had some everyday pain as far as like walking up and down stairs. That would give me pain. I would do some things on the court and I would be, in pain afterwards. And I didn't quite know if it would ever, I didn't know if that was the new normal for me, having that little pain to experience every day. And it was tough for me because obviously I wasn't at 100%. Obviously I wasn't as athletic, I wasn't as quick. But that's when I found out I needed another surgery because it didn't heal properly. But once I got that second surgery, I started to feel like myself again. It took me about 2.5 months to get fully rehabilitated, and once September came, I hit the ground running.
And the pain, the daily pain, no more?
No.
Been gone for a while now? As they say, when you got to Clemson, the rest was history, right? You did a lot of great things in the ACC. If I were to ask you about your best memories here at Clemson, I'm sure you could list 50, right, like that. But is there one, two, couple of things that?
I think the biggest, greatest memory I have at Clemson, so my redshirt freshman year, I had a iffy start. A couple games I started, a couple games I had 0 points, and I didn't quite know, if I still had it or not. I remember playing. We had Duke, our second ACC game of the year, at home. They had Jabari Parker, Rodney Hood, those guys, and we beat them by double digits. I had 14 points, 14 rebounds, ACC Rookie of the Week. And that was kind of the breakout game for my season. It kind of got me jump started for the whole year, and ever since then I took off.